This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. So, today, one of my good friends who is not a part of following the royals sent me this article, and I'm surprised that nobody is talking about it. And the only reason that I can think of is that it's suppressed. Suppressed with the news of Kim Kardashian explaining why Meghan's photo was deleted, and I think that that was intentional. Let's go through this article because I do find it very important. Now, the Globe is a tabloid magazine here in the United States, so I would take the information with a grain of salt, but as we have seen from these newspapers, things are starting to literally come to fruition. Let's go through it. I'm going to go ahead and share my thoughts on what I think is now happening. Written by Doug Montero, it begins, Prince Harry and wife Meghan's newly rechristened Archewell Philanthropies is reportedly potentially facing an investigation over financial discrepancies and ballooning expenses. The scandal is said to be wreaking havoc on the couple's marriage and may even torpedo the royal's reconciliation with his father, King Charles, sources say. Archewell is Harry and Meghan's crown jewel, a courtier confides. It's been central to their humanitarian mission since leaving their official roles in Britain's royal family. If it were linked to any wrongdoing or fraud, the shame could shred their public image and may even tear apart their 7-year marriage. A rep for the couple denies there is a potential investigation. Last year, the prince and the former actress announced that their much ballyhooed Archewell Fugazi public charity would now be known as Archewell Philanthropies as it transitions to a fiscal sponsorship model. Contrary to previous reports that suggested $4 million had been unreported in Archewell's 2022 tax return, the charity has clarified that all funds were properly accounted for, and that sum is reflected in the current tax filing for the 2023 fiscal year. In Archewell's 2024 Impact Report, co-executive directors James Holt and Shauna Knepp shared, "Our purpose is simple yet impactful: to show up, do good, to drive positive change, rally for communities in need, and nurture spaces where everyone is seen, valued, and supported." There has been no evidence of wrongdoing by the Duke or Duchess of Sussex or Archewell, which recently saw the resignation of Holt, who is moving back to England from America after 5 years at the charity's helm. But sources believe Archewell's financial matters are a massive concern for the pair, who ditched palace duties and Harry's native UK in 2020 and set out to chase fame and fortune in Meghan's home state of California. Insiders say the situation surrounding Archewell is one of many headaches for the 41-year-old Duke and his former Suits star spouse, Meghan. Harry's reputation was rattled last year when he abruptly resigned as patron of Sentebale, the African HIV charity he established in 2006 in honor of his late mother, Princess Diana. Dr. Sophie Chandoka, who has headed Sentebale since July 2023, said the way the Duke handled his departure from the charity amounted to harassment and bullying at scale. Prince Harry has said he and co-founder Prince Seeiso of Lesotho stepped down because the relationship between the charity's trustees and Dr. Chandoka broke down beyond repair. After investigating, Britain's Charity Commission later said it found no evidence of widespread or systemic bullying or harassment at Sentebale. Still, sources say heartsick Harry was rocked by the accusations. Pause for a moment. Does anybody find it weird that this story about Sentebale blew up and it was everywhere, and now you don't hear a peep about it? Nothing about Harry's bullying or any further words from Sophie Chandoka? It's bizarre that one of Prince William's, I think, advisors joined on the board of Sentebale.
There's something underlying that as well, which is quite interesting, is that they live in a rules-based governance framework, which in this case is regulated by the Charity Commission. And you're expecting the board to act independently, to support the charitable objects and support the interests of the organisation as a whole. If you get some trustees or a part of the board which is serving an external party, that can create a number of difficulties and it can create dysfunctionality. Because if they are serving the external party over and above the interests of the charity as a whole, you can get into a muddle.
You gotta wonder, was Big Brother trying to save Harry's hide and give Harry a way out of it? It does feel like a lot of theater going on. And as Globe recently reported, insiders say Meghan is already having a meltdown as her carefully curated life comes apart at the seams.
I don't want to have to go back and curtsy to Kate. I want to be me. I want to be the queen. I can royal better than all of them.
In a short time, nearly 25 staffers have fled the Sussex's domain, including Meredith Means, their U.S. publicist. Meghan is blaming everyone around her for her troubles, especially Harry, says a source. She's seeing everything she left England for falling apart.
Harry, you promised this wouldn't happen again.
Meg, I tried. You know I did.
Tried? That's not good enough.
What more do you want from me?
And she's terrified she may have to go crawling back. Meanwhile, Harry is apparently blaming her, and he's ready to return to the royal family.
Why can't we have what your brother and Kate have with the crown? You have ruined my life!
As the Duke's once frosty relationship with his father continues to thaw, the UK Home Office is said to be on the verge of approving security on demand for the King's second-born during his trips home.
Give the ginger wanker his security. Not only will it piss the Brits off, it will piss the Americans off too, and they will have to pay for it.
But courtiers predict the scandal-averse monarch may keep his distance when Harry returns to the UK if Archewell is probed by authorities. It's an intense time for Harry and Meghan, the insider says, and the pressure shows no sign of letting up. So here's what I think. I think this story is coming from Prince William's team.
We need to build a new Tower of London, as it looks like Pa is bringing his darling boy and that bloody wife of his back into the royal fold. Make sure there are extra locks and an alligator moat to keep them contained.
If not from Prince William, probably was given by the feds. You know, they are known to give stories to various news outlets. The Globe is one of them, and considering that this guy who is the writer is from New York, it's a high probability. And given the fact that they reached out and the rep returned back with a comment saying that there's no investigation underway, the fact that they responded just goes to show that they're most likely lying. And given that this Kardashian story has been dominating the headlines for the last 2 days, it leads me to believe that this story was purposely suppressed. Add all of that onto the ridiculous headlines about King Charles making Catherine be the peace bridge between the family and the Sussexes. I'm not buying it. I think the Sussex PR team is in overdrive to suppress the information around all the scandal that is literally about to come to the surface. And Harry doesn't want it coming out because it should be any day now. The Home Office will make a decision on Harry's security. So my guess is he doesn't want any of this negative stuff to be coming out. And I do think that he does feel confident that he's getting the security back. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe tomorrow we'll all find out, because they did say that the announcement was going to come in January. So we'll just have to play it by ear. But anyhow, moving on to the last topic that I want to share with you. Did anybody hear that Harry is going to be a keynote speaker at this IAPP Global Summit around privacy, AI governance, and cybersecurity law? Like, what the heck are people doing when they say, oh, let's get Prince Harry as the keynote speaker for our conference? Yeah, I get that he's going to get attention globally and people are going to look at it, but is it going to drive people to sign up to attend this summit? I don't think so. In fact, if I were looking at this, I would stay far away from it if they're thinking that Prince Harry is a reputable source to come and speak at this event. So, according to the website, it says IAPP Global Summit is the world's largest annual gathering of digital responsibility professionals, attracting top experts in privacy, AI governance, and cybersecurity law. From assessments of the international regulatory landscape to answers for daily operational challenges. Summit is the place for fresh ideas, practical solutions, and a connection with peers and experts. So Harry is going to be there as one of the keynotes to share his insights on whether today's digital world is breaking or bridging society and the role we can play in reshaping the future. Oh my God. Like they couldn't find somebody in the tech industry that is more qualified to talk about this. What pisses me off about this guy is the fact on his bio, he has listed that he's a humanitarian and mental health advocate. And let's not forget that last week, Harry was banging on about how, it was offensive to him about what Donald Trump said about NATO. Meanwhile, he doesn't even list being a veteran in his headline here. He's a humanitarian and mental health advocate. I'm sorry. I don't think Harry is qualified to give any type of mental health advice, especially if we know that he does drugs. Like, what kind of mental health advocate is this guy? What a joke. No training, no school or certification, and here he is thinking that he is some type of expert on it. I think that's the most dangerous thing to see here. And I always think that it's quite arrogant of people to call themselves humanitarians, especially when they're participating in the largest NGO grifting scheme. Real humanitarians don't go and look to publicize every kind act that they do in the media just to help improve your image. That doesn't scream humanitarian. Like, this guy has become such a joke. And I'm guessing that the only reason why he is listed here as a keynote speaker is because this is the Harry Walker agency that hired him to do it. I guess it's a good thing that Harry's trying to find work, but this is kind of pathetic. The only thing that I see here as to why they would pick Harry to be a keynote speaker is to draw good or bad attention to this summit and get eyeballs to hopefully sell more tickets. I don't think Harry is the celebrity that's going to do that for them, but it will definitely bring eyeballs to see what this is all about and decide that no, Harry is not qualified to be speaking at an event such as this, which would question the summit itself and the quality of what they're bringing. This could equally backfire on them, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be spending $1,800 to go see Harry. No way. Now, the one thing, though, that I could see him add value is talking about the online safety bill, since he and his bitch wife had been behind the scenes working with various groups to get that bill passed, as well as the DSA really trying to mess shit up for our First Amendment. That's where I could see him add a little bit of value to all of this. But overall, Harry has no qualifications, no educations, no certifications, or has any business to be talking about cybersecurity and privacy. I don't really see Harry fitting in with this crowd. He's probably just doing this for a $100,000 paycheck, go in, do his little doom and gloom speech that he always does about rebuilding the online space to keep kids safe, blah, 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 and then peace out. This event apparently is happening at the end of March, and my guess is the reason for announcing this now is really to drive ticket sales. Imagine Prince Harry, the headliner for your event. I don't know. I don't think that's a good thing, in my opinion. A lot can happen between now and the end of March, and personally, I don't think Harry is going to go through with this commitment, because a lot can happen in between now and the end of March, especially with all that's going on with his security, Department of State, the visa, and all the other external things that we're seeing unfold here in the United States that this couple is connected to. Yeah, I will be surprised if he really does get to honor his commitment here. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below on all of this. I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!